Good morning, Your Honor. The Spanish interpreter is on the line.
Good morning, thank you. Did we find our public defender? Did I see her?
Yes, Your Honor.
There you go. It's not your fault. I'm starting a little early, okay?
No. I was looking the list for the approvals for public defender appointment.
I gotcha. No, I know you're working. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then for purposes of the record, my name is Heather Rodriguez. I'll be your judge this morning for initial appearances. Counsel for the State Attorney's Office, if you'll announce yourself for the record.
Heidi Pozek on behalf of the state.
Thank you. And counsel for the Public Defender's Office, will you announce yourself for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Evelyn Jimenez from the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. As previously stated, we are here for initial appearances. My responsibility is to advise you of what you've been charged with. I have reviewed all the affidavits today. I have found probable cause. However, counsel, if there's something I've missed, please don't hesitate to let me know if there's something you need me to reconsider. I will go ahead and enter a plea of not guilty on everyone's behalf, and I will go ahead and appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent everyone here today since you are in detention and you don't currently have an attorney. If you later decide to get a private attorney, that's not a problem. Your attorney will know how to do a substitution of counsel and become your new attorney of record. We will then confirm your bond amount. If there is a domestic violence element to the offense, the court is going to go ahead and order a no contact order. That means you cannot have contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. If you all reside together, you will be allowed to go one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal items. If there's a situation where I don't need to order one of those, or if the parties are requesting a no hostile contact, please let me know. I'm going to go ahead and handle our Spanish interpreter cases first. We have 3 of them. The first one is Desiree Arroyo Rosado.
She's not here.
The females are not here yet, Your Honor.
Then we're not handling that one, or Maria. All right, Madam Interpreter, you're
And I
just
also-
going to have to hang on with us for a little while, okay?
Not a problem, Your Honor.
All right, please let me know when we're ready to go on those.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a couple of more interpreters that are males and they're present.
Okay? Do you want to go ahead and handle Fred Medina Rodriguez?
No. Approaching.
Madam Interpreter, are you still with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
He does not qualify.
Good morning, sir. Could you please state your name for the record?
Señor, por favor, diga su nombre para que conte en actas y buenos días.
Buenos días. Osvaldo Medina.
Good morning. Fred Osvaldo Medina.
Sí.
All right, sir, I understand that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense.
Señor, me quedo entendido que le han acusado a usted de una falta de primer grado, conducir bajo los efectos de bebidas alcohólicas o de drogas, siendo esta su primera acusación.
Your bond was set at $500.
Se ha fijado su fianza en cantidad de $500.
In the second count, you were charged with a second-degree misdemeanor of operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
En el segundo cargo, se le acusa a usted de una falta de segundo grado, operar un vehículo motor sin haber tenido licencia válida.
Your bond was set at $500 as to that count.
Por ese cargo también se fijó su fianza en $500.
PTR, it's my understanding that he does not qualify for PTR, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor, and that's due to the hold for immigration.
Okay. Sir,
Para la
your
libertad provisional me queda entendido que él no reúne los requisitos para participar en el programa. Correcto, su señoría, y eso es debido a que él tiene una orden de retención de inmigración.
Sir, your bond will remain as previously set. Good luck to you. Buena suerte.
Sus fianzas permanecerán en las cantidades que ya se habían fijado. Buena suerte a usted.
Who is the other gentleman you'd like to call?
Your Honor, I have Kevin Hiraldo Collazo. He's approaching.
It's Korean. Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Kervin Hiraldo Collazo.
Kervin Hiraldo Collazo.
Yes.
All right, it's my understanding that you are being held pursuant to a warrant for your arrest and a failure to appear.
Me queda entendido que a usted le han detenido por una orden de arresto que se emitió en su contra por faltar en comparecer.
And that's in case number 2019 CT 3579.
En el caso 19CT 3579.
Your bond was set by your judge in that case in the amount of $2,900. $2,900, sorry.
En ese caso, la fianza se la había fijado el juez del caso en 2.900
Your bond will remain as previously set by your regular judge.
y la fianza permanecerá en la misma cantidad que había fijado el juez del caso.
Buena suerte. Counsel, who's your next one?
The females are here too.
Sorry.
The females have arrived, Your Honor.
Your Honor, do you want me to call the next one in Spanish or females already? I don't know.
Who's the next male that you have that requires Spanish?
Hector Núñez Santos.
Good morning, sir. What is your name?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Héctor Miguel Núñez Santos.
Perdón, Reyes.
Núñez Santos.
Héctor Núñez Santos.
All right, good morning, sir. I understand that you are before the court charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of violating a domestic violence injunction.
Y queda entendido, señor, que usted se encuentra ante el juzgado por una falta de primer grado, haber incumplido con una orden de alejamiento por un incidente de violencia doméstica.
As a result, your
Your Honor,
bond
if I may
was...
be heard.
Yes?
The defendant in this case was on coma, and as a result of that, it's the understanding of the defense that there was a modification from the judge for a no hostile contact based on the fact that he needed medical treatment and that the victim was the only person available to provide that. And it's the understanding that from here, I don't have a way to research on my computer, but that is the request.
Su señoría, si me permite expresarme al respecto, me queda entendido que el acusado se encontraba en coma y ese planteamiento de la defensa que se hizo una modificación a la prohibición de contacto hostil porque la víctima era la única persona que le podía cuidar. No tengo acceso a la información desde mi computadora, pero tengo entendido que ese es el caso.
And Your Honor, Pat Hill with PTR, if I may, we did have contact with the alleged victim. What Madam Public Defender stated was the information provided to us by the alleged victim. She is requesting contact, and she stated that the injunction is set to expire in 2 days, and it was modified to a no hostile contact so that she could provide the care to Mr. Nunez that he needed.
Su señoría, hemos podido contactar a la víctima. La información que acaba de presentar la defensora pública es la información que nos dio la víctima. Ella ha solicitado que se permita tener contacto. Además, ha dicho que la orden de alejamiento deberá vencer en 2 días y que sí se había modificado anteriormente y solamente era una prohibición de contacto hostil.
Was that injunction entered out of Osceola County?
I believe so, Your Honor.
La orden de alejamiento se aprobó en el condado de Osceola. Me parece que sí, su señoría.
All right, so I'm looking at the case file for 2019 DR 1859.
Estoy leyendo el expediente que consta bajo el número de caso 19DR1859.
The petitioner filed her petition for a injunction on May 3rd, 2019.
La solicitante pidió la orden de alejamiento el día 3 de mayo de 2019.
Based on those allegations, a temporary injunction was granted that same day.
Según las acusaciones, ese mismo día se aprobó una orden de alejamiento temporal.
A hearing was held before Judge Schaefer on May 14th, 2019.
El día 14 de mayo de 2019 se ventiló la audiencia enfrente de la jueza Schaefer.
The defendant, in this case, respondent in the other, did not object to the entry of the injunction.
El acusado en este caso, que además es el demandado en esa orden de alejamiento, no objetó a que se aprobara la orden.
The injunction was scheduled to expire on November 14th, 2019.
La orden debería vencer el 14 de noviembre de 2019.
And the final judgment was entered and served upon the defendant.
Y el fallo definitivo se asentó y se le entregó formalmente al acusado.
There has been no motion for modification of the final injunction, nor has there been a dissolution of the final injunction.
No se ha presentado ningún pedimento para modificar la orden de alejamiento, ni ha dejado de estar en vigor la orden de alejamiento.
And there is nothing in the court file changing the terms of that injunction.
Y no consta nada en el expediente del tribunal que modifique los términos de la orden.
Your Honor, the modification to no hostile may have stemmed from case number 19 CF 1595.
Su señoría, es probable que la modificación de la orden se haya hecho a raíz del caso 19 CF 1595.
Not sure how that judge has the authority to change the final injunction entered by another judge at the same level.
No me queda claro
Correct.
cómo es que ese juez habría podido tener la autoridad para modificar una orden de alejamiento que había aprobado otro juez que se encuentra al mismo nivel.
What is that case number again?
That 19 CF 1595, that is for an aggravated battery with a weapon, which I believe is the same victim. The judge may have modified it in that case, and the defendant thought that that would cover the injunction as well. There was a slight language barrier, so I'm not sure if they understood.
El otro caso es el 19 CF 1595. Es un caso de intimidación calificada con arma mortífera en el que se enumeró a la misma víctima. Es probable que el juez haya modificado la orden en ese caso y el acusado haya pensado que eso incluía a la orden de alejamiento. También hubo un problema con el idioma y es probable que no haya entendido completamente lo que se dijo.
Where do you see that?
I don't have a computer in front of me. This is just information given to me by the alleged victim, and then in running his history, I found that that's the most recent aggravated battery charge against this defendant, which he is currently on probation for.
No lo tengo en la computadora delante de mí. Esta información me la hizo llegar la víctima y revisando su historial veo que esta es la más reciente de las acusaciones de agresión física calificada por la que actualmente se encuentra en régimen de libertad vigilada.
It is correct in the July 9th, 2019 felony sentence order. It says that he's allowed to have non-hostile contact with the alleged victims, Flores and Rodriguez.
Es correcto, en el fallo que se asentó el 9 de julio del 19, la sentencia del caso delito mayor sí dice que hay una prohibición de contacto hostil con la víctima Flores y Rodríguez.
Does he qualify for PTR?
He is currently on probation, so if you found probable cause on this charge, he would not qualify. However, if you found no PC, we could do PTR with him. It would have to be a bond with PTR, however.
State, do you wish to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, the state would object to PTR as far as straight PTR. This defendant does have a classification as a violent felony offender of a special concern. And just briefly looking at the history out of Osceola, that we have the same victim out of the injunction as well as his most recent felony case, the fact that he is on probation, that would be the basis for our objection.
¿Acaso reúne los requisitos para la libertad provisional? Actualmente se encuentra en régimen de libertad vigilada. Si su señoría determina que existe indicio de criminalidad, él no reúne los requisitos. Si su señoría no determina que existe indicio de criminalidad, entonces se le podría imponer la libertad provisional, pero también con requerimiento de que se le imponga fianza. ¿Qué dice la Fiscalía al respecto? La Fiscalía objeta a que se le envíe directamente al programa de la libertad provisional, ya que él ha sido clasificado como acusado violento y es de lo que se clasifica como preocupaciones especiales. Además, leyendo el historial de él, se trata de la misma víctima que en los otros casos y se trata de un delito mayor. Por eso nos oponemos a que sea directamente libertad provisional.
But this situation didn't arise out of any violence between the parties, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. The
Pero
state-
esta situación no se creó porque existiera ningún acto de violencia entre las partes, ¿verdad? Correcto, su señoría.
The basis for the state's objection is not necessarily this offense, Your Honor, but rather that there was a permanent injunction in place against the defendant for this victim, and that there was a previous felony case in which she was listed as a victim.
La base de la objeción de la Fiscalía no es necesariamente el incidente que acaba de ocurrir, sino el hecho de que existía una orden de alejamiento permanente en vigor a favor de la víctima, que es la misma víctima que se menciona en el caso anterior, que es un delito mayor.
Counsel for defense, do you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may. The defendant was, the violation of injunction is based on the officer making a finding that both parties were together in a car accident, that it was not violent in nature toward each party. So at this time, the defendant is asking for this direct PTR, since this case is just an accident and a violation. And the confusion on the different cases may have caused the defendant have a lack of understanding of which was the official order. And since the order of no hostile contact was provided after the domestic one, he may be in the understanding that the one that was standing was the no hostile contact. And we're denying the violation of domestic injunction.
La defensa explica que el incumplimiento con la libertad vigilada, con la orden de alejamiento se basa únicamente en que la gente los presenció en un accidente de tránsito que no necesariamente se produjo porque existiera un acto de violencia entre ellos. Por tanto, la defensa solicita que sea directamente libertad provisional, teniendo en cuenta que el incumplimiento con las órdenes por violencia doméstica puede haber ocurrido por la confusión que ocurrió entre los casos. El acusado no entendió y como la última orden que se aprobó fue la de prohibición de contacto hostil, el acusado asumió que se trataba de esa la que estaría en vigor y por tanto negamos las acusaciones y solicitamos que sea libertad provisional.
Counsel, I'm being advised by PTR that I can't order PTR unless I find there's no probable cause. Could you direct your argument towards that?
Yes, I wasn't
La
finished. Your Honor.
provisional me ha explicado. I'm sorry, Your Honor. May I please request that both attorneys go slower when they're making their arguments?
You may.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you like me to ask my question again, Madam Interpreter?
No, Your Honor.
What you are missing
Thank you.
is me waving at the television screen trying to get everyone's attention for you. All right. My question, ma'am, is that I've been advised by PTR that I can only order PTR if I can't find probable cause. Could you direct your argument towards that?
Licenciada, mi pregunta es la siguiente. La libertad provisional me ha explicado que solamente puede ordenarse libertad provisional si no se determina que exista indicio de criminalidad. Por favor, ¿puede hacer su argumento respecto a eso?
Yes, Your Honor, I was allowing the translation to be made. The defense is arguing that since there was no probable cause on the violation of probation based on the conflicting orders, we're making an argument of probable cause and asking the court to find that there was no violation of the injunction.
Su señoría, estaba dando tiempo a que se hiciera la traducción. La defensa plantea que, como el incumplimiento con la libertad vigilada surge de la confusión que ocurrió entre las órdenes, se le solicita a su señoría que determine que no existe indicio de criminalidad, ya que no ha existido incumplimiento.
The court's going to find, because of the conflicting orders, that there is no probable cause.
Teniendo en cuenta el conflicto entre las diferentes órdenes, se determinará que no existe indicio de criminalidad.
Anything else we need to go over?
Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, briefly, Pat Hill from PTR. Due to the difficulties of this situation, I withdraw my finding that he would qualify for PTR based on him being on probation. That would disqualify him. I feel that he would qualify, however, I don't know if my supervisors would agree, and at this time, I would respectfully decline my previous statement that he would qualify.
Su señoría, en representación de la libertad provisional, teniendo en cuenta lo difícil de esta situación, retiro mi anterior planteamiento de que él podría reunir los requisitos para el programa de la libertad provisional. Es probable, en mi opinión, que él sí reúna los requisitos, pero también considero que tal vez mis supervisores no lo vean de la misma manera. Por tanto, con todo respeto, retiro mi anterior opinión de que él sí reunía los requisitos.
If there's
Your
no,
Honor, would you consider ROR?
if
Su
there's,
señoría está dispuesta a considerar libertad bajo palabra.
if there's no probable cause, how can I order anything?
Si no establezco indicios de criminalidad, ¿cómo puedo ordenar cosa alguna?
He's under supervised release. One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, may we recall the case? We want to make a phone call to get more information on some matters.
Okay.
Su señoría, ¿nos permite reconvocar el caso más adelante para hacer una llamada de teléfono y recopilar más información? Muy bien.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, are we ready to go with Desiree Arroyo Rosado? Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Buenos días, señora. Diga su nombre.
Arroyo.
Desiree
Desiree
Arroyo.
Arroyo.
All right, ma'am, I understand that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery.
Señora, se le acusa a usted de una falta de primer grado de agresión física.
Because it relates to domestic violence, your bond was set at no bond.
Como es un incidente de violencia doméstica, se le fijó a usted prisión preventiva.
I understand from PTR that she qualifies for bond with PTR, is that correct?
Me
That's
queda
correct.
entendido a partir de la libertad provisional que ella reúne los requisitos para el programa de la libertad provisional junto con fianza.
That's correct, Your Honor. She has no prior arrest.
Correcto, su señoría, y ella no tiene detenciones anteriores.
Very well. Bond will be set at $250 with the requirement of PTR.
Muy bien, se fija la fianza en cantidad de $250 y se le impone el programa de la libertad provisional.
There will be no hostile contact. I'm sorry, no contact.
Se emitirá orden de prohibición de contacto hostil, orden de prohibición de contacto.
And she can return to the residence one time with law enforcement to retrieve her things.
Y ella puede regresar a la casa una única vez acompañado de las autoridades a recuperar sus pertenencias.
Muchas gracias, buena suerte. All right, Maria Maldonado Lozano. Good morning, ma'am. What's your name?
Buenos días, señora. Diga su nombre.
María Maldonado.
Maria Maldonado.
All right, ma'am, I understand that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery.
Señora, me queda entendido que le han acusado de una falta de primer grado, agresión física.
Because it involves allegations of domestic violence, your bond was set at no bond.
Como incluye acusaciones de violencia doméstica, se le había fijado prisión preventiva.
I understand from PTR that you qualify for a bond with PTR, is that correct?
Me ha explicado la libertad provisional que usted reúne los requisitos para que se le imponga fianza y el programa de la libertad provisional. ¿Es eso correcto?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Correcto, su señoría.
Bond will be set at $250 with the requirement of PTR.
Se fija la fianza en cantidad de $250 y se le pone como requisito la libertad provisional.
There will be a no contact order in place,
Se emitirá orden de prohibición de contacto.
and you'll be able to return one time with law enforcement to retrieve your things.
Y usted podrá regresar una única vez acompañada de las autoridades a recuperar sus pertenencias.
Muchas gracias, Bonazueta. All right, we're going to move on to some non-translator cases at this time. Madam Interpreter, I
No,
believe
Your
we
Honor.
just have one more.
I have Natalia Ramos Rodriguez also, Your Honor.
All right, we'll go ahead and handle that one then. Good morning, ma'am. What is your name?
Buenos días, señora. Diga su nombre.
Buenos días, Natalia Ramos.
Good morning, Natalia Ramos.
All right, ma'am, it's my understanding that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery.
Bien, señora, me queda entendido que se le ha acusado de una falta de primer grado, agresión física.
Because it involves domestic violence, your bond was set at no bond.
Como es un incidente de violencia doméstica, se le había fijado a usted prisión preventiva.
I understand she qualifies for bond with PTR.
Me han explicado que reúne los requisitos para que se le imponga fianza y libertad provisional. Un momento, su señoría.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was your question?
I understand she qualifies for bond with PTR. If that is the case, the
Yes, Your
bond
Honor.
is set at $250 plus PTR.
Me habían explicado que ella reunía los requisitos para la libertad provisional junto con fianza. Sí, su señoría. Si ese es el caso, serán $250 en fianza más los requisitos de la libertad provisional.
With the requirement that she have no contact with the alleged victim.
Además, se le impone como requisito que no tenga ningún tipo de contacto con la presunta víctima
And she can return one time with law enforcement to retrieve her things.
y puede regresar una única vez acompañada de las autoridades a recuperar sus pertenencias.
PTR, is there anything else I need to know?
No, Your Honor.
A la libertad provisional, ¿algo más que quieran comunicarnos? No, su señoría.
Are you ready to go back to Bonazuete, ma'am? Are you ready to go back to Fred Medina Rodriguez?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, we already addressed Fred Medina Rodriguez. The one that we're having issues is Hector Nunez Santos.
You're right, I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong list. Did we?
May I have one moment, Your Honor? One moment, I just want to ask some questions. Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else we need to do in that case?
On the Hector Nunez Santos, Your Honor, we got more information.
Yes, Your
Bueno,
Honor.
en ese caso, en
in
el
speak-
caso de...
In speaking with my supervisor, if you're finding no PC and he should have never been arrested on this charge, we can do PTR.
Su señoría, en el caso Núñez tenemos más información. He contactado a mi supervisor. Si usted determina que no existe indicio de criminalidad y que no debió haber ocurrido el arresto, entonces se puede imponer la libertad provisional.
Counsel, are you able to confer with your counterpart here in Orange County?
No, Your Honor. I may have a phone number for the clerk.
Or do you have an email address for your colleague here in Orange?
Licenciada, ¿acaso lo puede confirmar con su colega en el condado de Orange? No, su señoría. Probablemente tenga el número de la secretaría. Por favor, aunque sea por correo electrónico, si lo puede confirmar.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yes? How about, can we handle some other matters while she emails you?
We have no access to laptops or internet access while we are inside jail, so the only thing that I have is a phone number from here. That's why we're not able to provide more information to the court.
Okay, can you have them call the clerk's office here and perhaps the two of you can talk on the phone?
Yes, Your
No
Honor.
tengo acceso a computadora, internet, solamente un número de teléfono, por eso no le puedo dar más información. Por favor, puede llamar por teléfono y conseguir la información que necesita. Sí, su señoría.
Court will take a 3-minute recess to allow you to do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Tomaremos un receso de 3 minutos para que usted pueda hacer eso.
The call should take 60 seconds.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Hey. Hi, sorry I couldn't contact you any other way. Oh, wait, I have it now. Is that better? Okay. So, sorry I couldn't contact you this way. I think what the judge, Governor Taylor, under the medium of, what the judge is saying is that she found him on the phone, so there's no authority for her to hold him in jail. So she doesn't need, yes, she doesn't need any more information. He just needs to be released as to the vehicle and released as to the injunction violation. And that's it. No PTR, no nothing. She just is, yeah, she just won't do it much faster. Yeah, no, that's, doesn't usually happen. Yeah. So just be clear on that point, and I think we're good. Yeah, okay, cool. Not just a winning arguments, you know?
it is.
You don't know if they do.
Peace is such a lower bar, isn't it? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing I can do. She hasn't found it, she hasn't found it.
I think the problem is though, he's anti-murder, so she can't let him out unless
Until
she
like
finds him.
he's got,
Yeah.
this classification,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a weird,
It's a weird situation.
I don't know what, like, if there is an injunction.
I don't know how a felony judge can notify that.
Yeah, like,
I can see how they can order a hostile contact in their form.
In their
because-
own
Right, but I just
case.
don't know how that could go into a whole other, basically, whole other thing.
Yeah, like which one trumps the other.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a,
We run into that with like family
Yeah.
court decisions versus like circuit court decisions.
right.
Like if in the family case, that's some kind of limitation, but then the circuit judge
When they don't.
does something else, it's like,
yeah. Goodness. I'm reading this, possession of cocaine with a firearm.
so they're searching.
Oh, clearly.
I don't, like, how can he isn't able to exercise any control over it. So I
But he's
don't-
claiming ownership.
Yeah, but I don't know how he's in possession of it. it,
Right,
you know?
because it's just, it's
Because he
discarded.
doesn't have any, like, actual or
Yeah.
constructive control of it.
Well, because it's just over in like some bushes, it looks like, right? It's like, it seems like abandoned
So it's essentially
property.
abandoned
Until he
until-
comes back and he's like, oh yeah, that's mine. I don't know.
I'm just gonna raise the
Raise-
challenge and see
yeah,
what
go
she
ahead.
does. I've never seen something like that before.
Because I just don't hear about it because, you know, if it's like a short possession, it's like an area where they're around or something, but it's like, you know, it's just, then it, like, I don't have enough information to say, is he like in the area?
Yeah.
Are there people?
Yeah.
I might ask for 24 hours to see what I can get from the cop, but.
No problem, just one down that and.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's, because even the officer says that it seems to be abandoned. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know. I know.
I understand. You're not from there.
I know, like, you make my life way too easy. Like, if you just shut your mouth. What are you doing? Like, what? Oh, God.
All right, are we ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, state your name again, please.
Señor, diga su nombre nuevamente, por favor.
Héctor Miguel Núñez Santos.
Héctor Miguel Núñez Santos.
All right, counsel, the court has found no probable cause. What do you want to do at this point?
Licenciada, se ha determinado que no existe indicio de criminalidad. ¿Cómo desea proceder en este momento dado?
Your Honor, at this time, the defendant is asking to be released since there was no probable cause for the charges against him.
In your honor, for PTR, I'm Assistant Supervisor Brown. Good morning. Just want to go on record to state that defendant is on probation. He does not qualify for PTR due to the legal constraint.
Su señoría, teniendo en cuenta que no se ha establecido indicio de criminalidad, la defensa solicita que el acusado sea puesto en libertad. Su señoría, por parte de la libertad provisional, supervisora Brown, quisiera hacer contar en actas que, teniendo en cuenta que él se encuentra en régimen de libertad vigilada, no reúne los requisitos legales para ingresar al programa de la libertad provisional.
Thank you. Gracias. Madam Director, Supervisor, just so you know, what's going on is there are conflicting orders.
Okay.
Señora supervisora, para que esté al día, lo que ocurre es que tenemos mandatos judiciales que entran en conflicto. Ok.
The court has reviewed the court records for the domestic violence injunction case and the order entered by Judge Schaefer.
Este juzgado ha repasado el expediente en el caso de violencia doméstica y la orden de alejamiento que aprobó la jueza Schaefer.
Pursuant to that order that was entered, I believe in May, the parties were not to have any contact until November 14th, 2019.
Según esa orden que se aprobó, me parece, en mayo de este año, se le prohibía a las partes todo tipo de contacto hasta el 14 de noviembre del año 2019.
After that order was entered in the civil case, Judge Wooten entered a sentence in the felony case.
Luego de que se aprobara esa orden en el caso civil, el juez Wooten aprobó la orden en el caso penal.
That case is 2019 CF 1595.
Ese caso es el 19 CF 1595.
He changed the terms of the relationship between the parties and said they could have non-hostile contact.
En ese caso, él cambió los términos del contacto entre las partes y estableció que podían tener contacto siempre que no fuera hostil.
That change was never made in the civil case.
Pero ese cambio nunca se llevó a cabo en el caso civil.
The defendant was in some type of car accident.
Ocurrió algún tipo de accidente de auto en el que el acusado estuvo involucrado.
The person who he was not supposed to be with, according to the civil case, was in the car.
La persona con la cual, según el caso civil, él no podía tener contacto, se encontraba en ese vehículo.
And so he was arrested on the civil case violation, not understanding Judge Wooten's change in the criminal proceeding.
Y entonces le detuvieron por el incumplimiento con el caso civil, a pesar de la determinación del juez Wooten en el caso penal.
Based on the inconsistency between the two orders, the court cannot find probable cause.
Teniendo en cuenta la falta de consistencia entre ambos mandatos, este juzgado no puede determinar que exista indicio de criminalidad.
For violation of the civil injunction.
Con respecto al incumplimiento de la orden civil,
There are no other charges against this defendant other than the violation of the civil injunction.
este acusado no enfrenta ninguna otra acusación como no sea el incumplimiento con la orden civil.
So therefore, I don't know what I can order other than his release.
Por tanto, no sé qué
That's
otra
correct,
cosa
Your Honor.
podría ordenar, como no sea que se le ponga en libertad. Correcto, su señoría.
Your Honor, I understand. He doesn't qualify for PTR because he's on probation. I believe his defense attorney has recommendations in reference of his release.
Lo entiendo, su señoría. Él no reúne los requisitos para la libertad provisional, dado que se encuentra en régimen de libertad vigilada. Me parece que su abogada ha hecho recomendaciones con respecto a cómo puede ser puesto en libertad.
Your Honor, is there any additional information that you need from PTR at this time?
No, thank you.
¿Hay algo más que su señoría
All right, thank you so
necesite del
much.
programa de la libertad provisional en este momento dado? No, gracias. Gracias a usted.
Counsel, is the state dismissing this at this time?
Not at this time, Your Honor. I believe that our office needs to do a little bit more research. We understand that the court has not found probable cause. However, I believe there argument needs to be made from the appropriate ASA in this matter.
Okay, all right, thank you.
La Fiscalía está dispuesta a desestimar el caso. No, en este momento debemos seguir investigando. Su señoría no ha establecido indicio de criminalidad, pero el fiscal asignado al caso debe seguir indagando.
Yeah, so it'll just be ROR.
En ese caso será entonces libertad bajo palabra.
All right, does that conclude all of our Spanish cases? Thank you, sir, you're all done.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Interpreter, thank you for your help this morning.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I will stay on the line for the orange cases.
Very well. Were you sworn in before you started translating our Osceola Spanish cases?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to take the oath, and in so doing, confirm that you accurately translated everything that you've been translating this morning.
I did, to the best of my ability. Flavia Rodriguez, State Certified Court Interpreter.
Madam Clerk, if you'll go ahead and issue the oath.
Do you swear to translate from Spanish to English, English to Spanish, testimony you received today?
I do, to the best of my ability. Flavia Rodriguez, State Certified Court Interpreter.
Thank you. All right, Kaliko Ani.
Your Honor, if the officers from the jail are asking if we can call first Michael White, is the last one on the...
Very well,
no,
Michael
not the
White.
last one.
Oh,
Sorry, Your Honor.
Madam Translator, I'm advised we don't have any Spanish for orange at this point.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
And who would you like to call after White?
We can go on the regular order, Your Honor.
All right, so
It's
after
just-
Mr. White, we're going to be calling Kaliko Ani.
They said he's not coming.
He's in medical, right? He's in medical, Your Honor.
Very well. After that, we'll be calling Kaliko. Ani is in medical, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then after Mr. White, we will call Roger Ashcombe. Askham.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, sir. What's your name?
Michael White.
All right, Mr. White, you have been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery. Your bond was set
Well,
at,
that's too bad.
your bond was set at $500. I also understand that you're out on bond ROR in case number 2019 CF 3458. Your
That's
bond
correct.
in case number, in the new case, the battery, that will remain at $500. Your bond in the other case is revoked and can be addressed by your regular judge. Good luck to you, sir. Roger Ashcam. And after Mr. Ashcom, we'll be calling Joseph Bond. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Roger Askin.
All right, sir, you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of petty theft. Your bond was set at $250. You are also charged with a third-degree felony of use of an anti-shoplifting device. Your bond was set at $1,000. Does he qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Very well, the court will order PTR. Good luck to you, sir. Joseph Bond.
He'll talk to you.
After Mr. Bond, we'll be calling Anthony Crosby. Sir, what's your name?
Joseph Bond Jr.
All right, Mr. Bond, you've been charged with 3 offenses: a first-degree misdemeanor of battery, a first-degree misdemeanor, and your bond was set at no bond in that case because it related to domestic violence allegations. The second one is a first-degree misdemeanor of resisting arrest without violence. Your bond was set at $500. And then you were charged with a third-degree felony of battery on a law enforcement officer, and your bond was set at $1,500. Does he qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor, with a monetary bond.
Have you had any contact with the alleged victim?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court will go ahead and set bond in count 1, the battery, at $250 with the requirement of PTR. And his bond will be reduced to $100 for all of the remaining counts. Thus, each one would be $100. It would be all 3. Good luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, before we move
Your
from-
Honor, will you
before we move from
be
this
ordering no
case,
contact?
Yes. As I stated in the opening, anytime domestic violence is involved, the court's going to automatically order no contact, and you can return one time to the premises with law enforcement. I was hoping that would be a sufficient catch-all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anthony Crosby, and then after Anthony Crosby, we'll be calling Andrea Carvello Duran.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. What's your name?
Anthony Crosby. Good morning.
All right, sir, it's my understanding that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery. It's related to domestic violence, so your bond was set at no bond. He does not qualify for PTR, is that correct?
That's correct due to his probation status.
So what?
Are there any VOP issues that need to be addressed by the court?
He is currently out on felony probation in 2 cases, 14 CF 7081 and 16 CF 14194. The charges are drug charges.
I don't have any paperwork on those. Hold on one second. PTR, when someone who's on probation gets arrested on a new law offense, do you automatically do a hold?
No, Your Honor. We do notify probation, but normally the judge that's covering initial appearance does an on-view to allow probation sufficient time to submit their violation paperwork to the courts.
The reason for asking.
So how are you asking the court to address the two potential VOP issues?
I am leaving that up to the court's discretion. However, the judges normally find an on-view violation based on the new law offense and set the bond at 0, and then that allows probation time to get their paperwork submitted.
State, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, we'll leave this to the court's discretion.
Okay, the court will go ahead and set bond in the amount of $500 with a no contact order in the battery case and a no return to the residence. On the two VOP cases, potential VOP cases, that's 2014 CF 7081 and 2016 CF 14194. The court's going to set 0 bond on that until it can be determined by probation. Good luck to you, sir. Waleska Andrea Carvela Duran.
Your Honor, at this time, the defendant is waiving the reading of the charges.
PTR, it's my understanding that the defendant qualifies for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor. She has no prior arrest.
Have you had any
And
contact?
we were not able, no, Your Honor, we were not able to make contact.
All right. Ma'am, what's your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Valeska Corbello.
All right, your bond will be set at $250 with a no contact order in place and return to residence one time with law enforcement. Good luck to you. So it's bond with the PTR, okay? Trended Gardner, and then after that, James Highsmith.
Approaching, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Good morning, Trenda Garner.
All right, sir. You've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of trespass on property, and your bond was set at $500. It's my understanding that he does qualify for PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the court will go ahead and order PTR. Good luck to you, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
James Highsmith.
All right, sir. You've been arrested on 2 failure to appears, and your bond was set in the first one at $4,999, and in the second one, $1,999. And that was done specifically by your original judge, so I'm not going to mess with it. Good luck to you, sir. Javeras Jackson. And then after Mr. Jackson, we'll call Jason Lutz. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Javaris Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson, it's my understanding that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery involving domestic violence. It's my understanding that he qualifies for bond with PTR. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Court will go ahead and order bond in the amount of $250 with PTR, no contact with the alleged victim, and do not return to the residence. You can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve your things. Good luck to you. Jason
All right,
Lutz.
thank you.
And after Mr. Lutz, I'll be calling Casey Mitchell. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Good morning, Jason Lutz.
All right, Mr. Lutz, you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of petty theft. Your bond was set at $250. You've also been charged with a third-degree felony of using an anti-shoplifting device, and your bond was set at $1,000 as to that count. I also understand that there's currently a potential VOP in case number 2018 CF 4941. As a result, you do not qualify for PTR. Court's going to go ahead and keep bond as previously set and allow probation additional time to figure out what's going on in that 2018 CF 4941 case. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Casey Mitchell. What's your name?
Casey Mitchell.
All right, Ms. Mitchell, I understand that you've been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery. It's related to domestic violence, so your bond was set at no bond. I understand that you don't qualify for PTR, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. She does have an active warrant out of South Carolina. That's for a failure to appear on a possession of controlled substance. They're not willing to extradite, but due to that open active warrant, we are not able to supervise her.
Any objection to the court setting bond at $500?
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Very well, bond will be set at $500. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Edward Novak, and then after Mr. Novak, we'll be calling Cesar Perez. Good morning, what's your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Edward Novak.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. You too have been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor of battery because it relates to domestic violence. Your bond was set at no bond. I understand that he does qualify for PTR, is that correct?
Can you repeat that part? I was muted.
He does qualify for PTR, Your Honor, and he would qualify for PTR with mental health conditions.
May I have a moment, Your Honor?
May.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
That's okay, Your Honor. Sorry, my apologies.
All right, the court will go ahead and set bond in the amount of $250 with PTR with mental health conditions. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cesar Perez, and after Cesar Perez, we'll be calling JL Antonio Rodriguez.
Your Honor, on Cesar Perez, we're waiving the reading of the charges.
All right, sir, your bond has been set in your new case in the amount of $1,500. But I also understand he has case number 2018 MM4301, that's also a battery case. that he was out on PTR.
That's correct.
And does he qualify for PTR?
No, Your Honor, due to the legal constraint of being out on PTR and violating that PTR.
All right, in his new law violation, alleged violation, the court will go ahead and set bond at $500. And he's not to have any contact with the alleged victim.
Which case?
And then his PTR in the 2018 MM 4301 is revoked and can be addressed by his regular judge. Good luck, guys. JL Rodriguez. Sir, what's your name?
Jael Antonio Rodriguez.
All right, sir, you've been charged with battery, domestic violence, your first-degree misdemeanor. Your bond was set at $500. At no dollars. There was no bond because it was domestic violence related. I understand that he does qualify for PTR with bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond will be set in the amount of $250 with the requirement of PTR. Good luck to you, sir. Adam Sirju.
Good day.
Your Honor, at this time, is this a felon? We're waiving the reading of the charges.
Very well. All right, sir, your bond in both counts have been set at 0 because they relate to domestic violence. It's my understanding he qualifies for bond with PTR.
Yes, Your Honor. He has no prior arrest.
One moment, please. Sorry about that. All right, the court will go ahead and set bond in the amount of $1,000 as to count 1 and $500 as to count 2 with the requirement of PTR on both. He cannot return to the residence. He can go one time with law enforcement to retrieve his personal items, and he is to have no contact with the alleged victim.
And Your Honor, the state would be requesting an order that the defendant not possess any weapons.
Very well, that's added as well. Leroy Wilder. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Leroy Wilder.
All right, sir. You are here before the court because of a capias that was issued in case number 2015 CT 3267 for a failure to appear. Your bond in that case was set by your judge at $1,000, and I'm not going to tinker with that. Your bond will remain as previously set. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does that conclude all matters in Osceola County?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about Joseph Bond? Did we address that one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, can we address Mr. Feitner's case?
Your Honor,
why don't we do this? Sir, can
yesterday-
you go ahead and state your name for the record so that it's clear that you were here for this discussion?
Tyler Feitner.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, when you were given the information and he was given bond with PTR, we missed the fact that he was on probation, which excluded him from, excuse me, excluded him from qualifying for PTR. We are just asking, you gave him bonds, his bonds were paid. We are just asking that you remove the PTR condition on that.
Any objection from the state?
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Very well, it's removed. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other matters we need to address?
Not on my understanding, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Ms. Hill, thank you for your hard work today.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
All right, give him that orange stuff. All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to proceed with our Orange County docket at this time. I'm going to ask everybody to announce themselves for purposes of the record. Counsel for the state.
Heidi Pozek on behalf of the state.
Counsel for the defense.
Marie Taylor on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Representative from PTR.
Robin Gawer for Pretrial Services.
Thank you. All right, so for every case, I'm going to inform the defendant with what they've been charged with. I have reviewed the affidavit. I have found probable cause. Of course, counsel, if there's something I missed or you need to bring to my attention, please do so. Court will go ahead and enter a plea of not guilty for everyone and appoint the public defender to represent them on a temporary basis because they are currently incarcerated. Anything else we need to go over before we get started?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Marslock,
What's your first name?
Derek.
Thank you, sir. All right, it's my understanding that you have been charged with prohibited camping. Your bond was set at $250, and also engaging in prohibited activities in parks and recreational facilities, and your bond was set at $250.
Your Honor, it appears that Mr. Marslock is interested in resolving his case and entering a no contest plea.
How many days has Mr. Marslick been here?
2 days, Your Honor.
2 days. Okay, the court will go ahead and accept his plea. I will sentence him to 2 days credit time served, and he can have 1 year to pay his fines. Good luck to you, sir. Florence Davis. Good morning, ma'am. What's your name?
Florence Davis.
All right, Miss Davis, it's my understanding that you've been charged with disorderly conduct and your bond was set at $250. Your bond will remain at, does she qualify for PTR?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this point, Ms. Davis is interested in entering a no contest plea to the court. Yes. Just court process.
Counsel, based on the Based on the allegations in the arrest affidavit, I'm not comfortable playing this one out. Because there may be some elements of domestic violence in here. Hold on one second. Let me go back.
That's what they're concerned.
But the court will go ahead and reduce her bond to $100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I reduced her bond to $100. Donald Flanders.
Yeah. You're all set.
Oh, I guess I won't be going home today.
Just 100. Just
There's no way.
Okay.
Donald Flanders. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Donald Wayne Flanders.
All right, Mr. Flanders, you're being held for a violation of probation. Because of that, your bond has been set at no bond, and it will remain the same. Good
Yes,
luck
ma'am.
to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Emmanuel Santos. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Emmanuel Santos.
All right, Mr. Santos, your bond has, you've been charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling, and your bond has been set at $5,000. You do not qualify for PTR. Okay, your bond will remain as previously set. Good luck to you, sir.
The bond's at
Do you want to
$5,000.
address it sooner rather than later? The Osceola issue? Yeah,
Your Honor, may I be heard briefly as to probable cause on this one?
you may.
Based on the affidavit itself, I don't see anywhere where the officer found a crime therein or probable cause for a crime therein. Damage is cited to the place of entry into the porch, but I don't see any evidence within the affidavit of potential theft, and I don't think that the entry point is adequate to satisfy the statutory requirement of a crime therein.
State?
Your Honor, the state would argue that there is probable cause for the charge. It looks like that this is described as a screened-in porch, while we understand defense's argument that the entry of allegedly cutting the screen may not be evidence of a intent to commit a crime therein. There is evidence that there was an item moved from its original spot, and that could be evidence of petty theft. And for those reasons, Your Honor, we would argue that probable cause can be found here without getting into the merits of the case or the details here.
The court finds that there's sufficient probable cause in the arrest affidavit and bond will remain as previously set.
You're all set.
Carlos Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
Carlos Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris, you've been charged with trespass on property after warning. Your bond was set at $500. It's my understanding that he does not qualify for PTR.
Correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mr. Harris would be interested in entering a no contest plea if the court would take it.
Very well. How long has he been incarcerated?
2 days, Your Honor.
Court will go ahead and give him credit for time served in the amount of 2 days. He can have 1 year to pay his fines. Do not return to the Aldis. They do not want you there.
Okay.
Don't go back.
So I get out today? Okay.
For this case, if you have other cases, I can't control that.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
James Delia? Good morning. What's your name?
Well, it's James Taibbi Delia now.
Could you spell that for me?
Taibbi hyphen Delia, just the way it is.
And when did you change your name?
About maybe like a month ago, like a month and a half ago. I got married a couple months ago in September.
All right, you've been picked up on a violation of probation. Because of that, your bond is set at no bond, and it will remain so. Good luck to you, sir. Andrew Tree?
Not until then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you know what
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Andrew Tree.
All right, Mr. Tree, you've been charged with having an open container of an alcoholic beverage, and your bond is set at $250. It's my understanding he does not qualify for PTR.
Correct, John. He does have a active warrant out of Volusia County for overnight camping, but they will not extradite. And he also has a hold for Hillsborough County for failure to appear on a trespass, but he does have a bond for $100.
Okay.
So I have 2 warrants.
Yeah. One more, they're gonna pick you up, $100 bond. Okay.
Despite the warrants, Your Honor, Mr. Tree would like to enter no contest plea as to this case.
How long has he been incarcerated?
2 days, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will go ahead and give you credit for time served. In this case, you'll have a year to pay any court fines. As to the other warrants, he has a bond of $100 on one of them. So if he can satisfy that, then he can be released on that one. And it's my understanding that on the other warrant,
They're not going to extradite.
there's nothing to do.
Correct.
All right.
So, they'll come, Hillsborough It's just what it says.
All right, before we start our felony DV cases, I've been notified of an issue in Osceola County with one of the cases we handled that we probably need to look into. Okay. All right, so do we need to get anybody back on the record? All right, we are turning now to, I'm looking for a case number. Doesn't. I think it's a, so this is Waleska Andrea Carvello Duran. Matter of Waleska Andrea Carvello Duran. In that particular case, Ms. Carvello Duran was charged with aggravated battery.
Your Honor,
Okay, yes, and I guess the issue is that it was an over-the-line arrest.
Oh, so we can't even supervise her on PTR on an Orange County case?
Would Orange County take her as PTR?
Your Honor, I have to verify. I got to get information. I got to verify community ties. I need to know who the victim is, addresses. I have to get all that information.
Is that transferable? Because Osceola did that. Could they transfer that information to you?
She's not here in this jail, though, correct?
Correct. She's in the Osceola County Jail. Plus PTR.
Well, we can keep it like that. You're on the bond and PTR.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay, so she can transfer her PTR to Orange County if necessary.
Yeah, she's got a bond with it, so that's fine.
All right, is that sufficient for Osceola PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thanks for bringing that to my attention.
thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to go ahead and give you the Osceola PTR sheet so that you have it. All right, we're now going to turn to cases. Sir, what's your name?
Amir Garcia.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you've been charged with felony battery and possession of oxycodone. Your bond was set as to no bond as to both cases. PTR?
No, Your Honor.
So you don't qualify for PTR. State, do you wish to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would just point out the allegations within, excuse me, this case. It looks like the victim did have some injuries to his mouth that included blood. So I would just point out that this crime is identified as a dangerous crime, and I would ask the court to keep that in mind.
Defense?
I would just note for the court, Your Honor, that there appears to be no prior arrests or convictions for Mr. Garcia.
All right, these alleged injuries are pretty serious. Court's gonna go ahead and set bond at $1,000. As to count 2, and $5,000 is to count 1 because he doesn't qualify for PTR and I don't have stable housing for him. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, nor is he to return to the hotel that he was staying at, which is near where the victim's staying. And he cannot possess any firearms, nor can he possess any drugs or illegal substances or medications without his name on it. Good luck to you, sir. 5,000 count 1, 1,000 count 2. Anthony Johnson. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Anthony Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson. You've been charged with battery by strangulation, domestic violence. Your bond was set at no bond given the severity of the charges. Counsel for the state, do you have anything to add?
Your Honor, the state would just point out that the defendant does have prior convictions for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as well as battery, and there is an indication that there are ties to a gang as well.
Defense?
Your Honor, it appears when I searched this case number in the clerk's site, it seems as though the state has done a motion to transfer this to county court. If Madam Clerk would maybe make sure I'm not messing something up, but that's what I see.
Counsel for the state, can you double check that, please?
I can, Your Honor, if I may just have a moment.
Yeah. Let me just double check.
Your Honor, it looks like there was a request for an administrative transfer to county court that was on the 28th of October is what is showing on the clerk's site.
And is that for this same case?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, based on that, the court will go ahead and set bond at $1,000. Good luck to you, sir. No contact with the alleged victim. If you guys reside together, then you can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve your things. You cannot own or possess any firearms or weapons. It's not that I don't want to know your question. It's want to make sure that I protect your rights.
No,
So
I'm
I'm going to
curious
ask
about
you
the
to, I'm going to
county court.
ask you to direct your question or comment to your attorney.
Ron, you said that was a $1,000 bond?
Yes,
Okay.
because they've transferring it to county
I'll be
court.
checking the website, and you're gonna get court dates on there. Just make sure you check so you don't miss.
Larry Quinn. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Larry Quinn.
All right, Mr. Quinn, you've got 2 counts against you. The first is damage to property over $200, but less than $1,000. Your bond was set at no bond as to that. And then you were also charged with battery to domestic violence by strangulation, and your bond was set at no bond. Counsel for state, do you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, I would just bring to the court's attention the allegations for this case. It does, include, it looks like at least 2 instances of strangulation. We would also point that the defendant does have multiple previous convictions for the crime of battery.
Defense?
Your Honor, based on the paperwork that I'm seeing, Mr. Quinn does not have any convictions since 2003. Given the other somewhat minimal conviction history, I would just ask the court to take that into consideration when setting bond.
How old was the alleged victim? It's a minor, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, the alleged victim's age is listed as 16.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was your wife or you. Maybe both of them.
Bond's gonna be set at $100 as to count 1, and then as to count 2, bond's gonna be set at $7,500. No contact with the alleged victim. To the extent they reside together, he can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve his personal items. He is not to possess any firearms or weapons. Good luck to you, sir. Trayvon Reynolds. Or Tavon Reynolds, my apologies. Come on up. What's your name, sir?
Yes, my name is Tavon Reynolds.
All right, sir, you've been charged with tampering with a witness. Your bond was set at no bond, and battery by strangulation and domestic violence. Again, your bond was set at no bond. Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, I do not have any other information this time I would wish to put on the record.
Your Honor, I do have a probable cause challenge for the court.
Okay.
As to count 2, I don't believe there's any probable cause for the conduct. According to the affidavit, there is mention of a previous incident 2 weeks prior. I don't think reference to that previous conduct supports probable cause for this event, or rather the event that was described in the affidavit. And even if the court does find that past conduct to be sufficient, it doesn't amount to battery by strangulation, as there's no allegation of any cutoff of the breathing, and the victim doesn't state that she's unable to breathe. And so I would argue for either no PC altogether, or in the alternative, probable cause to simple battery domestic violence.
All right, court's not going to make a court finds that there is sufficient probable cause for battery. The court's going to go ahead and set bond at $100 as to count 2, and $100 as to count 1. Good luck to you, sir. No contact with the alleged victim. No contact with the alleged victim. If you guys still reside together, you can go one time with law enforcement to retrieve your things. Sir, what's your name?
Gene Tanis.
All right. Sir, you've been charged with battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and aggravated battery on a pregnant person, also domestic violence. As a result, your bond has been set at no bond in both those cases. I see that there's someone that wishes to be heard on your case. Madam Clerk can go ahead and swear her in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your name for the record.
Natasha Tanis.
Thank you. Counsel for the state, do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, ma'am, briefly. Just have a couple questions for you, ma'am. What is your relationship to the defendant,
His wife.
and how long have you known him?
We've been married for 5, but we've been together for 9. So
Has
10
any-
years?
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
Do you have any children in the home?
We do?
Do you have any fears for their safety?
No.
Do you have any fear for your safety if the defendant were released?
No.
Do you desire contact with the defendant?
Yes.
If anything like this were to happen in the future, and by that I mean anything domestic violence related, would you contact emergency services?
I will.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
None, Your Honor.
Ma'am, how many children are in the home?
3,
And what are their ages?
9, 6, and 3.
And are you currently pregnant?
Yes.
How far along are you?
8 weeks.
Ma'am, if these allegations in the arrest affidavit are true, then I am concerned about your safety and your well-being. I'm also concerned about the safety and well-being of the children that live in your home and the child that you're carrying. Do you wish to have contact with the defendant at this time?
Yes, but no hostile contact.
And do you understand that if the court grants this, you will have an obligation to call 911 immediately if there's any type of hostile contact?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have a duty and responsibility to protect all 4 of your children?
Yes, Your Honor.
And part of that protection is calling 911 if there's any violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma'am, have you met with anyone from Help Now or from Harbor House?
No.
You may want to take the time to talk to them and maybe put together a safety plan.
We already have one in place with DCF.
And Your Honor, if the state may just briefly be heard as to this case. Based on the allegations in the arrest affidavit, the state would be asking for a no contact order rather than no hostile contact. There's allegations that the defendant did cut off the victim's airway. He was aware that she was pregnant at the time of the battery, and there is a safety concern for not only the victim but for the minor children present in the home as well.
Defendants, do you wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
Bond's going to be set at $5,000 as to count 1 and $1,000 as to count 2. I am going to put in place a no contact order. Strangulation is considered a high lethality factor. If someone's willing to do that, especially while you're carrying a baby, it can go a lot further, a lot faster, just statistically, and it's one of the things that we're supposed to consider under the statutes. So there'll be a no contact order in place. He can return one time with law enforcement to retrieve his things. Good luck to both of you. Good luck, sir. Oh, he also can't possess any weapons or firearms. We're now going to turn to our misdemeanor domestic violence cases. Ms. Huff? Good morning. What's your name?
Shaniqua Huff.
All right, Ms. Huff, you've been charged with battery, domestic violence. Your bond was set at no bond because of the domestic violence nature of the allegations. It's my understanding she does not qualify for PTR. Have you had any contact with the alleged victim?
Yes, Your Honor, the victim will not attend court today.
Court's inclined to go ahead and set bond at the amount of $250 and put a no contact order in place. And that's what we'll go ahead and do. Good luck to you, ma'am. Tony Redding. Oh, and she cannot possess any weapons or firearms, including pepper spray. Yes. Yes, they have to go to PTO. They don't have to transport her here. All right, sir, could you state your name again for the record?
Tony Andrew Redding.
All right, Mr. Redding, you have been charged with battery, domestic violence as a misdemeanor. Is that correct, State?
If I might just have a moment, Your Honor, I believe that is correct, but let me just double check. That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, based on the allegations in the arrest affidavit, have you had any contact with the alleged victim?
Victim contact was made, we gave him information regarding the court run, but they are not present this morning.
I'm sorry?
We did relay information to the victim, but they are not present in court this morning.
Okay. All right, based on the allegations and also the court's review of the PTR report, court's inclined to go ahead and set bond in the amount of $500 with a no contact provision with the alleged victim. I understand that they reside together. That means that the defendant's going to have to find another place to live. He can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve his things. He may not possess any firearms or weapons, including a machete.
Your Honor, if law enforcement determines that the alleged victim is not residing at the residence, can Mr. Redding stay there?
Yes, if the other person's not there, he can certainly reside there. I'm not going to get in the middle of a civil dispute regarding who owns the house.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Raymond Van Buren. Good morning, sir, or good afternoon. What's your name?
Raymond Van Buren.
All right, sir. You've been charged with battery, domestic violence. Does he qualify for PTR?
Your Honor, we have a victim present. If you do allow a hostile and we can verify residential information, you qualify.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, we're going to go ahead and swear you in at this time.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Linda Van Buren. Counsel for the state, do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly. Ma'am, I just have a few questions for you. What is your relationship to the defendant?
We've been married for 22 years.
And has anything like this ever happened in the past?
Like this, no.
Has anything similar to this ever happened in the past?
Arguments, yes.
Okay. Has it ever transcended verbal disagreements? Has it ever become physical in the past?
No, Your Honor.
Are there any minor children in your home?
No.
Are you afraid of the defendant?
No.
Do you wish to have contact with the defendant?
Yes.
And ma'am, if anything like this were to happen in the future, and by like this I mean anything domestic violence related, would you contact emergency services?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, based on the testimony and the court's review of the arrest affidavit, bond will be set at $250 as to count one, or PTR if he qualifies.
Your Honor?
Oh, you need a bond amount with DV, sorry.
Could I ask for all charges to be dropped against him? never filed anything against him.
So, ma'am, understand today is not the trial. Today is just a first appearance based on the fact that he was arrested. The court makes no determinations regarding proceeding with charges or dropping charges. Those are decisions that are made by the state attorney's office. I don't have the authority to drop their case. Okay.
Your Honor, if you can give me one moment, I just have a question.
Okay.
You could do straight PTR instead of doing the bond being that the victim is present. I don't even know hospital. You don't even know hospital, it's gonna verify it.
Okay, ma'am, what's your address?
3922 Cassia Drive.
I think the state objects to straight PTR in DB cases.
That is correct, Your Honor.
So the court will do 250 with PTR. Good luck.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, maybe I missed something. I didn't see that he qualified.
He just did, based on her testimony and based on her confirming the address.
Okay. Would it be okay. Would it be possible to do just straight monetary bond?
That's fine.
Okay.
Straight bond.
The state would ask for a no hostile contact order to be
Very
placed.
well. So, sir, your attorney's going to go over it with you in more detail, but understand you are subject to a no hostile contact order. That means that if anybody says anything that frustrates you, irritates you, or gets you mad, you can't yell at anyone, you can't push, shove, hit, kick, threaten anyone with your words or your actions, or it's a violation of the order. Do you understand that?
I do.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Julian Walker?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Julian Walker.
All right. Sir, it's my understanding that you've been charged with battery, domestic violence. Due to the domestic violence nature of the charges, your bond was set at no bond. I see there's someone that wishes to be heard. Madam Clerk, will you go ahead and swear them in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Kenesha Anderson.
What's your first name, ma'am?
Kenesha
And your last name?
Anderson.
Thank you. Counsel for the state, do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly. I do have a couple questions for you, ma'am.
Okay.
What is your relationship to the defendant?
He's my boyfriend.
And how long have you known him?
2 years.
Has anything like this ever happened in the past?
Not like this.
And I just wanted to clarify, do you currently reside with the defendant?
Yes.
And do you have a minor child?
She's gonna be 16 next week.
Does she live with you and the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any concerns for her safety?
No.
Do you have any concerns for your own safety if the defendant were to be released?
No.
And ma'am, if anything happened in the future that was domestic violence in nature, would you contact emergency services?
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to ask, ma'am, before I end, was your daughter present when this occurred?
Yeah, she was in her room, but
I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions?
None, Your Honor.
All right, the court will go ahead and,
Right, we did qualify Mr. Walker for straight PTR. He does have an alternate address as well.
court will go ahead and set bond at $250 with a no hostile contact order in place. Good luck to you. Good luck.
There you go.
All right, we're now turning to our felony cases. Sir, what's your name?
Rico Allen.
All right, sir. I have, let's see. I have that you are currently charged in 4 counts, trespass on a designated construction site, your bond was set at $500. Burglary of a structure, your bond was set at $3,500. Grand theft in the 3rd degree, your bond was set at $500. And criminal mischief, your bond was set at $250. I further understand that you are currently out on bond. This one I wasn't quite sure of, guys. In 2013, CT 12094, he was arrested in that case on December 12th, 2013, and bonded out that same day. Is that case still open from 2013?
Here's a copy of the state attorney's from Your Honor.
Your Honor, from the clerk's side, it appeared that this was one of those cases on the intoxilizer docket.
I gotcha. All right. All right, so that one's still open.
Yes. Seems to be.
Okay. Yep. That one's still open. Okay. Does he qualify for PTR?
No, Your Honor.
Is that because of the 2013 case?
Yes. If they're out on bond, we can't qualify for pretrial release. Let me see. And also with his history, Your Honor, he does have 13 felonies, 9 misdemeanors, 2 failures to appears. His 12 convictions. No, let's show you want to get bond supervised by PTR.
What level offense is burglary of a structure?
It's an F3.
Court will reduce that one to $1,000. All the other ones will remain the same.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care.
So you're taking no action on the out on bond?
On the out on, but yeah, the court takes no action on that. It's not his fault. It's not wrapped up.
Your Honor, if we could just ask that the defendant not return to the scene.
Yes, no return to the scene of the alleged incident. Sir, what's your name?
Timothy Bagley.
All right, Mr. Bagley, you've been charged with possession of cocaine, and your bond was set at $1,000. And grand theft in the 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, your bond was set at $150. It's my understanding that you do not qualify for PTR. Your bond will remain as previously set in that case. I understand you also have another case, and that is case 2019 CT 8238. And in that case, you've been charged with driving while license suspended, and your bond was set at $500. The court will reduce that to $100. Good luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, as to if the state may be heard briefly, on the case involving the driving while license suspended charge, the state attorney's office would recommend ROR.
Very well. Donald Gillard. ROR on the list. The other bonds remain the same.
Thank you, State.
Good morning, or good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Gillard, Donald Gillard, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gillard, you've been charged with petty theft with 2 prior convictions. Your bond was set at $1,000. Count 2, you were charged with possession of burglary tools. Your bond was set at $250. And count 3, possession of drug paraphernalia. Your bond was set at $150. It's my understanding he doesn't qualify for PTR because he wasn't interviewed.
Let me see what we have, Your Honor.
Although looking at the past convictions, he
Yes,
may
has
not
a lot of
qualify.
history, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Your Honor, Mr. Gillard is requesting the court to release him on his own recognizance. Obviously, I'm conscious of, hold on one second. I'm conscious of his history. However, for what it's worth, I think 2 failures to appear in consideration of the amount of charges is pretty impressive. So it seems like he's someone who makes his court dates.
The court will reduce the bond in count 1 to $250. All the others will remain the same. Good luck to you, sir. And no return to the scene of the alleged incident. Matthew Leslie?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. You've been charged with possession of cocaine with a weapon. Your bond was set at no bond. It's my understanding, however, that he does qualify for PTR.
Yes.
Any objection to PTR for this matter?
There's no objection to PTR from the state, Your Honor.
Very well.
And Your Honor, just briefly as to probable cause, I would just raise concern as to the control element for possession. Even, I think in the affidavit, one of the officers describes the property as abandoned. I don't see any way that he could have exercised the requisite level of control over this item.
Court's going to find that there is sufficient probable cause for this standard of the proceedings and order PTR.
Okay. All right, so you'll just be released.
Carlos Perez
Checking with the court.
Hernandez. All right, we'll have to figure out what's going on there. John Rainey. All right, sir, could you state your name for the record?
John Rainey, John
Right.
Calvin Rainey.
All right, you've been charged with aggravated stalking of a minor under 16. Due to the nature of the charges, your bond was set at no bond. It's my understanding that he does not qualify for PTR. State, do you wish to be heard?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I would point out the defendant's history. It looks like he does have 29 previous felony convictions as well as 6 previous misdemeanor convictions. I think there is a concern here for the community as well as to the alleged victim in this case.
And so what are you asking?
We would ask that bond be set. However, we would have the court take the previous arguments under consideration when setting that bond.
Thank you. Defense?
I would just highlight for the court that in this case it appears Mr. Rainey has only 2 prior failures to appear, the last of which was 29 years ago. So he does appear, despite many convictions, to be someone who's reliable to attend court and not a threat to the judicial proceedings.
Can I do bond supervised by PTR?
No, Your Honor, and the only reason why if you check out convictions, we have
Oh, yeah.
correct.
All right, bond will be set at $2,500 with a no contact order in place. He may not possess any firearms or weapons. Good luck to you, sir. Jawan Rivera.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Jawan Rivera.
All right, Mr. Rivera, it's my understanding that you've been charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling. Your bond was set at $5,000, and then grand theft in the amount of $1,000 and criminal mischief in the amount of $100. Does he qualify for PTR?
Your Honor, we didn't qualify Mr. Rivera at the time. He was sent back to Safe Book. But if you wanted to supervise, you wanted to do the bond, we could do PTR with the bond. But straight PTR, we won't qualify, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, if the state may briefly be heard as to this case.
Yes.
We would just bring to the court's attention that the defendant is classified as a violent felony offender of special concern. I do see that even though he doesn't have an extensive adult history, he is currently 18 years of age, and within his juvenile convictions, there are a few convictions for carjacking with a firearm.
Defense?
Your Honor, the classification of violent felony offender of special concern really just comes into play when we're looking at violations of probation. So I would just point that out.
Based on the allegations in the arrest affidavit that was reviewed and approved by a prior judge, the court's going to go ahead and keep the bonds as previously set. Good luck to you, sir.
And Your Honor, I just want to put on record that violation of special concern will get released, and it populates if the defendant comes in on a dangerous crime. So even if they're on probation and it's a violent felony, we'll still get that FAM that'll pop up, but because of the charge, it'll still let us know.
Thank you.
But it's going to get released, Judge.
Sir, what's your name?
Kyle Brickley.
All right, Mr. Brickley, it's my understanding that you're here on new charges of a DUI. Your bond was set at $500, but you're also out on bond in case number 2019 CF 9309.
Yes, ma'am, driving on suspended.
And
on
you
that one-
bonded out in that case on July 1st, 2019 with $2,500. Your bond's going to remain as previously set in the DUI case, and the court's going to go ahead and revoke your bond in the 2019 CF 9309, and you can bring it up with your regular judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, if I could briefly, just for the record, let the court know that in that out on bond case, despite the arrest back in June, the state has not filed an information at this time. So they're going to be running up on the speedy trial period. Based on that fact, I would just ask the court to consider setting a new bond for Mr. Brickley.
Please, ma'am, I'm the
Not
only
at,
provider.
I'm sorry, not at this time. Good luck to you.
So I'll let them know to get you in front of Judge Kest.
Joshua Brooks. Alvarina Contreras? You just wanted to watch me struggle through that. Uh-huh. Jocelyn Day.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, what's your name?
Jocelyn Day.
Thank you, Ms. Day. You've been charged with operating a motor vehicle without a valid license, and your bond was set at $500. Does she qualify for PTR?
Your Honor, let me just check. She had a conviction with the moving lascivious, so let me see if that was qualified her.
It says she doesn't qualify.
How much can you afford? Okay.
She only has one failure to appear, that was back in 2014. But she does have a juvenile conviction, so I just want to check our admin order to see if that conviction would disqualify her.
Any objection to the court reducing bond to $250?
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Very well.
Your Honor, I'd be asking for ROR in this case. It appears that Ms. Day has just the one juvenile felony conviction. She has no adult history that I'm aware of. She's informed me that she's not able to afford $250 or even the $100 fee that the bondsman would charge for
My
a bond.
concern is that she didn't qualify for PTR because she doesn't have community ties, and they could not verify her emergency contact, and her David information does not match. My concern is also that prior failure to appear. I'm willing to reduce the bond from $500 to $250 as an accommodation. If she needs more than that, then maybe she can go back to see her regular judge.
Understood, Your Honor. Would the court be inclined to order $250 or PTR if
She doesn't qualify for PTR. That's the
Okay.
problem.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
All right, so see if somebody can put $100 up for you.
Brian Jonathan Freitas, bonded.
Thank you for your kindness.
Kenneth Banfield is mental health.
All right, Bestine Bernard. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
I'm Bastion Bernard.
Bastion, I'm sorry I mispronounced your name.
It's
All right,
okay.
sir, you've been charged with battery. Your bond was set at $500. I understand that he does not qualify for PTR.
Just check one thing.
Being released without paying.
Let me just see that.
Being what?
Released without paying? Paying
I
money?
can pay, I got money.
Okay.
All right, bond will remain set at $500. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Bradley O'Brien. O'Brien. Hi there.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your name?
Bradley O'Byrne, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Bradley O'Byrne.
All right, sir, you've been charged with soliciting without a permit, and your bond was set at $250, and possession of cannabis, your bond was set at $100. State, do you wish to be heard on anything?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, the state would be asking for ROR as to count 2.
That's great, but then what do I do with count 1?
We are not recommending ROR for count 1, Your Honor. Usually, our office would recommend for municipal ordinance violations. However, there is a concern as to the defendant's history. There are some violent convictions that were out of state. We do recommend ROR on the cannabis-related charges just due to our inability to prove those beyond a reasonable doubt at this time.
Your Honor, as to probable cause for the soliciting without a permit, typically in these cases, there involves some kind of obstruction of traffic or interference with the roadway when the person is on the shoulder or walking into traffic. But it looks like, based on the report, that Mr. O'Byrne was on the sidewalk. So Your Honor could find that there's no probable cause for the municipal ordinance violation.
I was at a mall at the Dowdy class. I wasn't even near the street.
Yeah.
I think the concern might be the content of the sign and whether or not that was an attempt to defraud folks.
I think Reed v. Town of Gilbert kind of took care of that issue criminally, right?
Right.
In any event, I don't know if Mr. O'Byrne wants to enter a plea so that he's not held on just the one case.
What's going on?
Do you want time served on the panhandling, or do you want to sit in jail on the panhandling?
Time served.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
If Your Honor would accept his no contest plea to that
It is
offense.
going to get cold on Wednesday. Today's Monday, it's going to get cold on Wednesday. Just giving you a heads up.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right, how do you wish to plead, sir?
No contest. No contest, Your Honor.
All right,
to
how
the
long has he been
panhandling.
incarcerated?
2 days, Your Honor.
Okay. Court will go ahead and sentence him to credit for time served, and he can have 1 year to pay his court fines. Good luck to you, sir. Stay warm.
Thank you, Your Honor, very much.
Bryant Wilson, and it's RLR in a second. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name? All right, Mr. Wilson, you've been charged with trespass on property after warning. Your bond was set at $500. Counsel for defense.
Mr. Bryant, excuse me, Mr. Wilson would like to enter a no contest plea, Your Honor.
Very well, sir. You entering a no contest plea to trespass on property after warning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Court will go ahead and accept your plea. I'll go ahead and sentence you to credit for time served. You can have 12 months to pay off your court fines and fees. Do not go back to that 7-Eleven. They don't want you there. There are other places you can give your business to.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And Your Honor, how many days did the defendant serve?
2.
2.
All right, sir, I'm sorry, ma'am, what's your name?
Courtney Bossy.
Sorry, I was just getting so many in a row. All right, Miss Bossy, you are here on an out-of-county warrant in 2 different cases. Your bond was actually 3 cases. Let's see. I have 2019 MM3698. It looks like that is out of Brevard, and they've set your bond at no bond. Then I have 2019 MM36968. That's also no bond from Brevard. And the third is also from Brevard in case number 2019 MM42848, and they set your bond in the amount of $1,000. The court will go ahead and keep all those as previously set by your judges in Brevard. Good luck to you. Yes.
I believe the other 2 cases do have bonds on the warrant.
I was looking at the arrest affidavit for the first 2, and I don't see them on there.
They're not on the warrant. I mean, they're not on the affidavit, but they're on the warrant.
Okay. Thank you for being so thorough. Well, I can see why nobody put them on there. The wording's so confusing, you can't figure out what it is. They use so many abbreviations, at least on what I've been provided.
Right, and it looks like the bond is $1,000 for that whole case, and then the other one is $250.
Are we able to determine that? So this is the one where it was set at $1,000. This is so confusing, I'm not comfortable making this decision without checking with that judge. So it'll remain as previously noted. Perhaps you can get the information from the judge in Brevard County or get their court records and figure out what's going on. But the teletype wording I have is too confusing to figure out what it is. Yeah, or do you want to reset it for tomorrow to allow your office to get information? Hold on 1 second, it's the warrants, folks. This is Judge Rodriguez. I'm in the middle of IAs. Okay. Do you need me to stop IAs to handle it now? We should be done probably in about 30 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay, what's her number? Because usually they don't call during IAs. U.S. deputy for an emergency warrant, and so we'll take about a 3-minute recess. But we'll go ahead and, everything's no bond for now until you find out more information.
Okay.
Are we ready to resume? If you all are able to find clearer information on that warrant, then I'll recall it this morning. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just can't figure it out what it is without any punctuation or clarification. The way it's typed up is just, you can't determine. All right. Sir, what's your name?
Christopher Francis.
All right, sir. You are here being held on an out-of-county warrant from Broward County in case, and your bond has been set at no bond. Does he have two? Is that what I'm seeing? Does he have two?
He has one. It's just hard.
Oh, okay, all right. Your bond will remain as set at no bond based on that, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, Sylvester Blue is mental health.
Joel Antonio Mejia.
Mental health as well.
Carla Hazel.
Mental health.
Michael Allen Taylor. Danny Dwayne Womack. Hi, what's your name?
David Womack.
All right, sir, you have been charged with resisting an officer without violence, and your bond was set at $1,000. And also trespass, your bond was set at $200. Does he qualify for PTR?
No, Your Honor, he has an open case in Palm Beach. He has a return date of December 2nd. Now, he wants to make, do a plea over
Court's inclined to keep bond as previously set. Is there anything else I need to know?
Your Honor, Mr. Womack would like to enter a no contest plea, assuming the court would be giving its previous offers.
I don't think I can do that when it's involving a resisting an officer with or without violence.
So we'll just have to post bond and stay in touch, hire a lawyer, stay in touch with you. It's $250.
State, would you have, he doesn't qualify for PTR, would you have any objection to reducing the count one bond from $1,000 to $250?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. We'll reduce count one to $250. Good luck to you, sir.
It's, okay, so it's $250 on each.
Thank
So it's
you.
$500 for me to get in it, cash?
If you, let's take cash.
I'm sorry.
If you go for a bond.
Let's see. This one bonded, and this one's mental health. Sean Cronin?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you've been charged with disorderly conduct. Your bond's been set at $250. Counsel for defense?
Enter a no contest plea, Your Honor.
Very well. Sir, do you enter a no contest plea to these charges?
Yes.
All right, sir. Court's going to sentence you to credit for time served, which is how long?
2 days, Your Honor.
And sir, you will have 12 months to pay off any court fees and fines. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
Keith McKee? Good afternoon, sir. Could you state your name for the record?
Keith McKee.
All right, sir, you've been charged with littering. Your bond was set at $250. Counsel for defense?
Your Honor, based on the nature of the offense, would the court consider releasing Mr. Keith on his own recognizance?
There's no objection from the state, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Didn't know you could be arrested for that.
He didn't like his ticket, so he brought it up and threw it down, so they arrested him for littering. All right, sir, what's your name?
Ramzaire Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you've been charged with having an open container of an alcoholic beverage. Your bond has been set at $250. However, it's my understanding that it looks like he is also been arrested on a trespass on property after warning and assault. And that's case 2019 MM8021. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's on ROR, I believe.
He's ROR in that
Yes.
case? Well, that makes it a little trickier.
Your Honor, if Mr. Taylor is inclined to enter a no contest plea, would the court be willing to take no action on his other case?
State, do you have an objection to that?
The state does not have an objection, Your Honor.
Very well, that's what we'll do.
Yep.
Is that what he wants to do? Does he want to plead to that?
That's what he said, Your Honor.
Will that have an impact on anything in his other case that he needs to be aware of?
No, Your Honor, it doesn't appear that it's a violation of probation.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right, sir, how do you plead?
No contest?
All right, sir, how long has he been here? Court will sentence him to credit for time served, and you'll have 12 months to pay off any court fines or fees. Enjoy your beer, just not in public.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, are we able to find out any more information on our Brevard? Okay. All right, can we put her on the docket for tomorrow? Mhm. Can we do that, counsel, since we aren't able to get the information on her warrants? We'll reset it for tomorrow?
Sure.
I just don't want her to get lost in the cracks,
No, I appreciate it.
and I want to make sure it gets handled. Yep. Did you get that? All right. I believe